Hi everyone! Today we're going to begin our newest unit, Project Earth, which is our 5th module in reading. We are going to begin today with a quote by Jane Goodall, who is a famous naturalist who studies chimpanzees and great apes. Only if we understand can we care. Only if we care will we help. Only if we help shall we all be saved. So I wonder what you think that Jane Goodall means by this. When we look at the pictures and think about what do we know about our planet? Over the course of this unit, we're going to focus on this essential question. How can caring for Earth and its living things improve life now and in the future? So for today, our learning target is going to be, I can recognize the central idea of a text using evidence to support my thinking. So when we're thinking about the central idea, we're really focusing on what the text is mostly about. So we're going to look for clues and evaluate details. So the idea is that if somebody asks you, what is this text about? You'll be able to give them just the most important information that they would need to know. And sometimes we look for the central idea in a paragraph, and other times we think about the central idea for a text as a whole. So once we identify the text clues, like the headings, the visuals, the first and last sentences, repeated words, then we can evaluate the details to look for examples, facts, evidence, and descriptions. Today we will be reading this short read, The Protective Power of Nature Preserves. So as we do, we're going to focus on what is the central idea of different sections and what is the author trying to tell us about nature preserves as a whole. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so that you can read along with me, or you can have your book out. And I am on page 311 in your Into Reading Books. The protective power of nature preserves. All over the world, humans' actions imperil natural areas and the plants and animals in them. As human populations grow, people put the environment at risk by using up natural resources such as trees, water, and land. As people cut trees and build roads, houses, and businesses, natural landscapes disappear. Plants and animals' homes disappear too. However, there's a way to protect endangered species and natural areas. It's called a natural preserve. A protected place for animals, for plants and animals. A nature preserve is something called a reserve or a park. It is a place that is protected from harmful human development. Plants are free to thrive as they naturally would, and animals are free to roam. Natural features such as rock formations and bodies of water are protected from damage. Within this carefully managed area, plant and animal populations can hold steady or even grow. Governments or private groups protect nature preserves by limiting or controlling human visitors' actions. Hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping may be allowed in some preserves. In others, these activities are prohibited. So when I think about this section, I notice that the author is trying to tell us that a nature preserve is a type of park that allows certain activities by humans and allows all activities that animals and plants would be able to do in nature if humans weren't encroaching into their habitats. How nature preserves are created. Nature preserves have been stabilized in many different countries. The first step toward protecting an area comes when an individual or group recognizes it is at risk. These people work to purchase land or to convince the land's owner or the government to protect it. One way in which the U.S. government can protect a natural area is by making it a national park. Yellowstone National Park, formed in 1872, was the first nature preserve created as a U.S. national park. Yellowstone includes land that is part of the states of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. It is home to bison, wolves, and other species that need protection. It is also home to natural features, such as its famous hot springs. The U.S. government protects Yellowstone's plants, animals, and habitats from human destruction. Why preserves are important to people. Nature preserves provide important benefits for people as well as for the plants and animals that live there. A preserve's trees produce oxygen for us to breathe. Wetlands help control floods by storing water. They strain out pollutants that contaminate human water systems too. Nature preserves also provide scientific and recreational opportunities. In Costa Rica, the Monte Verde Cloud Forest Reserve draws scientists to study its incredibly varied plant and animal life. This reserve also brings tourists from all directions. People visit the forest to hike its trails, glide through the treetops on zip lines, and view more than 500 species of animals. Other preserves provide quieter pleasures. A city preserve might offer the chance to escape car horns and sidewalks for birdsong and dirt paths. In nature preserves, people use natural resources in benevolent or like good and helpful rather than harmful ways. By protecting plants, animals, and landscapes, we are protecting nature's balance, which is good for all of us. So if we look at the images, we see in this the Monte Verde Cloud Forest Reserve. And then we see an image of Zion National Park. And we also see a bison, which reminds me of our last unit with the pioneers. And we see that there's a huge landscape where there aren't pictures of humans in the background. So we can tell that this is a natural preserve because people have set aside land to try and protect the plants and animals that live within it as it would be in nature without human intervention. So today we're going to look at different paragraphs to decide what is the central idea that the author is trying to help us understand.